Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel. This video, I'm going to go over Hyperbola Linux once again because I went back and looked at this and my installation guide would not work because a lot of the software that I installed and used, for example, the Network Manager or XFCE, LightDM, none of that stuff is available now. So my guide on this will work for the base installation, but that's all it'll get to you. So this is Hyperbola Linux, and this is their web page, their home page. I'll make sure the links get in the description below so you can check it yourself. So this is their home page, and up in the upper right hand corner there you'll see download. If you click on that, you can go right here and you can see you can get a torrent link or a magnet link. I don't think there's a option to get just a straight download, so you'll have to have a torrent handler to download the ISO. Here is the installation guide that you get from right here. If you click on the beginner's guide, you get this permission denied thing, and you must have to be an actual member to get to it. But if you click on the other installation guide that's here, well, actually this is just telling about it. Here's the installation guide. This is what I'm going to go through here. It goes all the way from downloading the ISO, putting it on a USB, or actually verifying the download, and then putting it on a USB stick right here, and then booting into it. This is where we're going to pick up. The internet connection is probably going to be your biggest hurdle. And if you're putting this on a laptop with the Wi-Fi, let's go down here to where it says Wi-Fi, wireless. You run IW space DEV, and you should pick up the interface. If you don't pick up the interface, if you do not see an output similar to this, then your wireless driver has not been loaded. If it is there, though, here's the command to bring it up, and hopefully it'll work for you. IP link set, and then whatever that number was, and up. All right. So I'm going to be doing this in a virtual box, so I won't have that to worry about. If you're going to use WP a supplicant, here's the instructions for that. ADSL and PPOE, there's the instructions for that. And we're going to go to here. And this is where we'll pick up we're going to pick up with CF disk or start. Here's that permission denied. I might as well just close that out. Okay, and the desktop that I'm going to install is the Lumina desktop, and here's the page for that, Hyperbola info page. Here's the Lumina home page itself, and we'll be installing that. So these links will be in the description below. All right, I've got it set up in a virtual box. Close that out. Bring up my virtual box, and this is Hyperbola, and this is going to be set up in the legacy BIOS mode. And I gave it 2 cores of my processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Let's get this started. Let's see, and I'm going to go to right control C, and go in scaled mode, so this can be a little larger for us. Maybe not look too stretched. Back up here at the top of my guide, we're going to run CF disk first. First thing you're probably going to want to do, though, is to ping something. You could even run an update, or not an update, but a sync. Once you're online and you know you're good, you can proceed. So we're going to run CF disk -Z space device SDA. All right, we're going to use the DOS partition table. First thing I'm going to give it is 4 gigabytes of RAM, swap space, primary, slide over 1 to type, go up 1 to swap, press enter, arrow key down. You're going to use the rest of that. Slide over to bootable, press enter, You'll see the asterisk appear up underneath it there. We're ready to write this out. So write, type in yes, and we're ready to quit. Clear the screen. I run a LSBOK, you'll see now I have a SDA1 and SDA2. So now we got to do something with those partitions. So we're going to make swap on device SDA1. We'll turn it on. Oops. And then we're going to make a file system .ext4 on device SDA2. Okay. Now we're going to mount that device, mount device SDA2 to /MNT. Okay. Now, I want to point this out real quick. In the installation guide, we just did this. You'll notice mount partition is there before you get to make file system. That's, you need to flip-flop that because that's not going to work for you. All right, it says the next thing is the date, and this is very important. Right here, you'll see it's probably wrong. It surely is. So it says the command is date. Oops. Month, day, hour, which is a 24-hour clock, in the year. Now if we run date again, it should be right. 4:08 in the afternoon. That is correct. Control L, clear the screen. We're ready to install base system, but they recommend you go into your pacman.conf. Nope, sorry, pacman.d mirror list. You'll see they got a lot of mirrors available and they're using, but one in the US until you get down here, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove that asterisk right there. I'm going to Control O, enter, Control X, Control L, clear the screen. So now we're ready to pack strap, and it's going to install it to mount. We're going to get base to vel, and I could wait to get extern, but I'm going to go ahead and get it now so I don't forget. Let this get started. There we go, 256 meg download, 931 meg installation size. So while it's doing that, let's go back up here. And here's where you could, you could get WPA supplicate if you needed it. The next step's the GenFS tab, and Arch to root. So we're going to follow this guide. There was a couple things they repeat for some reason. I don't guess that matters. We're right here. We're fixing to run a GenFS tab. All right, so I'll pause the video. This is not going to take long. It's already on the kernel, the Linux Libre LTS kernel. Okay, so this is about through. While this is just finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the desktops. If you look at the desktops that are available now, you'll see that it's Lumina. That's Lumina, not Lumina 1. Lumina, IceWM, JWM, and Openbox. And before I used XFCE. Here, the GenFS tab. Right. Let's clear the screen. That's GenFS tab -U for a universally unique identifier. Double arrows, mount FS tab. Okay. Now let's verify that. Cat that out. And there it is. You'll notice we got UUIDs there. All right, so it's time to chroot. Arch-chroot base/MNT. All right, echo the host name. And we're going to call this test 1. And we're going to echo host name 2. Etsy host name. All right, nano etsy hosts, plural. And the book still is not clear right here. So this is what I've done. Tab, and this is test one, period, local domain, all one word. Tab, test one. All right. Control O, enter, Control X. Control L, clear the screen. Now we're going to create a link to our time zone. So that would be user, share, zone info, and for me it would be America / capital Chicago space Etsy local time. User share, zone info, America, Chicago, Etsy. Okay. Now we're going to select our locale. And here for me it's English UTF, so it's right there as an example. Control O, enter, Control X, Control L, clear the screen. Then we're going to let it generate our locale. We're going to echo language equals English US .utf -8 into etsylocale.conf. All right. I'm going to backspace and export that. All right. Okay. And also in the guide there, the wiki, their installation guide, it tells you about your key map. Now would be the time. If you had to change your key map, now would be the time to update it and make it permanent. In this case, there's just the example their key map equals US. That's the default. All right, so let's set the hardware clock. All right. Password for root. There we go. All right, it's time to install Grub already. Pacman. Wait a minute. Let's make a little adjustment here. So Pacman -SYY and Pacman -S grub. So that's grub install space -- target equals i386 -PC space -- recheck space / device or DEV / SDA. No errors. Grub make config -O for output. It goes to boot grub .cfg. All right. Now we're going to run make init cpio space -p Linux Libre -LTS. Okay, so we're not using Network Manager, so I'm going to enable DHCP to run as default run level, or in the default run level. All right, we'll clear that screen. So that would be RC update, add DHCP default. Update, add DHC default. Okay, so that's added to my run level. So at this point, I could reboot. But I'm going to go ahead and run pacman -SYYU just off an off chance there'll be something to do. And let's go user add space -G, lowercase g, users -M -S shell dash Dennis. Alright, now we're going to user mod and add ourselves to a bunch of groups. Video, if I got all it spelt right, it'll tell me. Oh, it's user mod space little capital G. Now, oh, I got that spelt wrong. Let me make that correction. Audio, not Audi. Wish it was. There we go. Yeah. Alright, so now Dennis needs a password. Alright, so that's out of the way. Now, let's go ahead and reboot, and then we'll come back to right here and install the desktop. So let's see, reboot. No, I'm going to power off to remove the ISO. Since it's in legacy mode, it's not going to remove it automatically. What? No such file. Here's why. Okay. I got a Control D to exit. And then we got a U mount space -R/MNT. And now we can power off. Get rid of this ISO. And let's restart. I think I'm going to stay in scaled mode here. At least till we get the desktop going, I can adjust the resolution. Alright, so let's log in with our user. There we go. Now, sudo is not installed, but do as is. So let's try this as do as. Do as. Pacman -S needed, just in case. Xorg Lumina extra. I'm gonna rewrite xterm. And we could go ahead and get some of these other things so that it would be there. So I'm gonna pause the video and finish this up. All right, so I think that's enough for now. We'll get the rest of them when we get booted in. All right, do as did work. 235 meg download, a little over a gig installed. So a couple things I didn't get was the core utils, the archiver, but that's not going to stop us from getting into a desktop. So again, I'm going to pause the video here and I'll be back. Okay, so that's through downloading and it's starting to install. I got no hiccups, so I had everything spelt right. And the next thing we're going to do is go to our init.rc file. We're going to create it. All right, no errors. Control L to clear the screen. Nano dot xinit.rc .xinit.rc. And we're going to add in here double square brackets space -F tittle / period capital X resources space double in brackets, and here we're going to say exec start -Lumina desktop. Got that spelled right. Square bracket, hyphen F, tittle, slash, dot X resources. Yes. Control O, enter, Control X. Control L, clear the screen. Now, I'm going to create an alias so I don't have to type in start Lumina desktop. So let's go nano. Oops. I need to be as root. So do as. Did I do that one? Do as before? No, I did not. It saved it though, didn't it? Control X, get out of there. Control L, clear the screen. Do as. Period. Dash RC. There we go. And I'm going to go down to the bottom here. And I'm going to say alias. And then start X equals double quotes. Start hyphen Lumina hyphen desktop. End with double quotes. Okay, start Lumina desktop. That looks correct. O X. Alright, now let's see. I think that I could actually just reboot now and start it. So let's find out. Do as reboot. I could have just refreshed the environment. I probably should get out of scale mode at this point. Maybe. Alright, let's log in. And let's use our alias, see if that works. Looks promising. There it is. Alright, so now I installed Xterm. I'm going to right click on the desktop, go to Applications, System, Xterm. So let's see. We can do something about the, yep, see, do as Xlander hyphen S 40 by 900. Give it my password, and there we go. And there's our Lumina desktop. Let me see, I shouldn't have closed that. Let me bring that back up. Xterm. Let's see, do as Pacman hyphen SYYU. Password. And nothing to do. So now at this point, you could start customizing. Let's see, there's something I want to install right now. Get the screen size right. Wallpaper, display, theme. You could change your wallpaper, display, the theming, about Lumina. There's our XDG utils. So, I mean, I don't know a lot about the Lumina desktop, but I do know now that my method works here as far as installing Hyperbola Linux based on Arch Linux using Openrc as its init system. So I'm gonna power this off. What is that? Yeah, there we go. Do as power off. So I'm gonna close my notes out here, and let's go back. Like right here, this was not very clear in the handbook here in the installation guide. But somewhere on here this is twice where it says echo my host name. Now that's listed there. It is echo localhost equals host name, echo my host name to Etsy host name. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's just not put together. It is improved. It has improved from the last time that I looked at it. But that's really not here nor there. That's how you install Hyperbola Linux based on Arch using Openrc init system. Thanks so much for watching. Good luck.